Here I am at Parnassus Books for Sharon Cameron's book signing for The Forgetting, her brand new book, which is actually not out till next week, and I'm so excited to have a copy, and so excited to see Sharon again, because she's amazing.
So I will tell you just a little bit about the book. We're going to do Q&A. Afterwards, I'm going to read a little bit, so you can save your questions. You'll probably have some. This is a book about a society of people who forget everything every 12 years, and how that society has developed in order to deal with the trauma of this. I'm a person who spends a lot of time thinking about the past. If you know me at all, you know that I love to go digging around in old documents and the basement of a courthouse. There are people here who have literally dragged me out of the basement of a courthouse before I got locked in. But I have thought a lot about the past. I've thought a lot about how it's the same, how it's different, how we are connected to it, what our heritage is, and also what has been forgotten. I am always amazed whenever I start digging into history to discover that how much we do not know about our own past, about the past of the world, how much has just been gone. And that is why I came up with this idea to write about a group of people who literally have no history, who have no identity other than the identity that they have created for themselves in the absence of memories. Our memories really do create so much of our being. That's where all our experiences are. The first page I'm going to read to you is actually an excerpt from a book. One of the ways that this society has decided to overcome their forgetting is that everyone will write their lives daily in a book that is worn on their body all the time. And this book is your identity. This book is your string to your past. This is the book that tells you who you are after the forgetting. So it's always a question of whether people are writing the truth in their books or whether they are bending the truth in order to be someone different than who they actually are. This is an excerpt from the very first book written after the first forgetting. I have forgotten. When I first opened my eyes, I saw a room of white stone, and the light was bright, too bright, coming into the room from two high windows. I have never been so afraid. I don't know this room. I don't know this girl who woke with me, or these children who cry, their faces streaked with black lines. They've forgotten too. But this book was tied to my wrist, and the book says I have a family, and that my family will be marked with dye so I'll know them. I think I have to believe the book. There is violence outside. We've barred the door. I don't know what else is outside this room, but I think there are more of us, and that they did not wake up with the book. I want to scream like they are. I want to cry like the children. I want to claw my own skin and find out what's buried inside. I want to know who I've been. The book says I knew this forgetting would come, that it's happened before and will happen again. We have to write it all down, everything about us, as the book has told me to do now. The children with the marks on their cheeks run from me. I think I am their mother. I will read them this book. I'll tell them their names, and I will tell myself mine. We are made of our memories. Now we are nothing. It feels like death. What have we done to deserve this piece of hell?
What is the time that it's set in? What era?
The era is not of a time that we know because of the setting. And the setting is part of, I would say, the twist. So I would say that this is a futuristic story that feels very much like the past. There is no technology. We are living in a more regressed society, I would say. My desire to write strong girl characters. You know, I don't know if I ever actually set out to say, "Woo, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to write a strong girl character." I don't know that I've ever really thought about it that way, but I do like writing about characters who break the rules, characters who are stepping outside of whatever their norm is, and that doesn't necessarily mean you're shooting arrows like Katniss, or that it doesn't even mean you have to fight. I think I'm really interested in the quiet heroine who is very quietly breaking every rule around her, and I think that's what interests me, so that's probably why I go there. But I never really set out to make it be one certain thing, when I'm writing, because otherwise I probably wouldn't do it very well if I tried to do it. What books do I like to read or look forward to read for inspiration? That's such an interesting question. I am so bad about reading the same books over and over and over again. I really love to read the same ones again, and I really love to do that because it gives me time to think about why I loved that so much. So books that I go back to again and again for inspiration, I am such a Lord of the Rings nerd. It just can't be helped. I've probably read Lord of the Rings about 41 or 42 times in my life. I'll go back there every time and just think about what it was that made me feel that way during that. And that was one of the first things I did when I thought about becoming a writer, is I went back and reread those to think about why I loved that part. Was it the language, or was it what was happening, or was it the character? What was it that was drawing me in so hard? A more modern book that I will, or set of books that I'll go back to again and again, are the Eugenides series by Megan Whalen Turner. This is The Thief and The Queen of Atolia, The King of Atolia, and Conspiracy of Kings. And the middle two books of those in particular, Queen and King of Atolia, those two I think are just so inspiring to me. They are the best written books I think I've ever read in my life. They're my favorite characters. I can just go back to those books again and again. I find them incredibly inspiring, and they're written with a very sparse language. She is amazing at using a very short sentence to tell you a million things. And I'm not amazing at that, and so I draw a lot of inspiration from someone who can. I fangirl all over her. So
I'm thrilled to finally get my hands on The Forgetting by Sharon Cameron. I am so excited about this book. I absolutely adore her other three books. They have such compelling characters, they have such exciting plots with so many twists that I never expect, and that's rare for me in a book. Usually I kind of feel like I know exactly where a book is going, but Sharon Cameron always gets me so confused and excited in such wonderful ways. I kind of want to scream throughout her whole books because I'm just so absolutely caught up in it. So I can't wait to read this one, and the premise is so very excited. We live in a world where every 12 years everyone forgets everything, and how do they cope with that? I can't wait, and probably all I'll be doing tonight is reading this book, and I'm getting to eat cake with a little bit of the cover on it. How exciting is that? Hey, here I am with Courtney Stevens, so awesome, and we're at Sharon Cameron's The Forgetting thing.
It has been super cool to be here and super amazing to be a part of this book and get to read it early. I feel like I cheated and I don't care, and we're all cheating here because we get to see it early too.
And I've been dying to read it.
I know, right?
And I've been so jealous of you all talking about it.
You should be jealous because it's fantastic, and I think just knowing that what you set out to do and how the level at which you did it, I'm just super thankful that I got to be around you when that was happening. Super thankful for this book, and I think the real thing is, even if the forgetting was happening here, I think all of us would remember you because you matter to us so much. So we love you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thanks, Sharon. I absolutely love you, and I'm so excited to be here. Everyone must read your books.